Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good moment of you. For every moment is a moment of you, created by you, for you. A moment to open up, to allow, to integrate, to embody, to activate more and more of you. We're always creating at a higher level with our higher self, the circumstances, the situations, the reflections that we need in order to bring ourselves to the awareness of an energy within us that we are either transmuting, integrating, and then ultimately activating within us, within these contrasts, within whatever we're experiencing, whether it be something pleasant and that's expanding that experience, or a contrast which acts as a catalyst for expansion and activation. Hey guys, hey Moon. Just hopping on real quick to just deliver a message. So when I went to the gym today, I was watching a video and it was activating some further information within me. Sorry, Maxie. Thank you so much, Moon. So Spirit always takes messages and back to basics and brings them to a deeper level of understanding. And the higher frequency we become, the greater light that we're able to shed on truth, on information, on more wisdom, on insight, on our own energy. And what really hit me today was how Spirit has been really talking about integrating the opposing forces, making everything that is a opposite or seemingly a challenge or a polarity, to allow it to be our friend, to befriend it and dissipate that illusion of separation where we are merging the opposing forces or the polarities or the things that seem opposing within us, whether it be beliefs, energies, thought forms, values, what we are believing, and then what we are seeing and what we're creating, but then what we want to create, and then what appears before us. A lot of times it seems opposite, or sometimes we find ourselves in polarities trying to make sense of it. And sometimes we might even resist them. And what Spirit is saying is, and has been saying, as we befriend our challenges, our enemy, quote unquote enemy, we allow it to work for us. And then that creates a merging. Well, this merging, when we bring forth two opposing forces or polarities and bring them together, Spirit is saying they act as a stick, like or stone or whatever. When we bring two things together and we spark a fire, whether it be, I don't know, stones with a dead leaf, or like two pieces of wood, and it sparks. So that's what we do to ourselves. Spirit says we activate our own light through the contrast, through incorporating it with the opposing force. We create a merging, like the yin and yang coming together. They seem opposing, but they come together as a team, and then they actually catalyze something new to be born, to be experienced, representative by the gray area between the yin and yang symbol. That is the area of creation. When the two come together, they activate. So what Spirit is saying is, when we bring something opposing or opposite together in our awareness and allow it to work, we literally are activating our own light. So we are truly master light blasters, activating our own light through our allowance, through not resisting, through befriending the enemy or befriending the opposing force, allowing it to show something about ourselves, and then we gain the insight, and then that gives us the activation. Insight, aha moments, they're like little mini activations, sparking wisdom, sparking divinity, sparking light within us. Oh my God, Max is like being really annoying. Hold on one second. Hold on just a second. Hold on. Sorry about that. Max was going ballistic because he heard the four-wheeler. So I thought that it would be just kind of fun to do a collective message on what information are we activating now for us? What energy are we opening up and activating through contrasting experiences or through opposing forces, as we sometimes try to wrap our mind or wrap our consciousness or wrap a greater understanding around the two opposing forces that are actually merging and coming together to activate so we may embody more and more light. And I just love that analogy, because when you hit two sticks, or the old-fashioned way of starting a fire, that's the flame, and that is the flame within us. The light is our flame. The light is our passion. It is our greater understanding. It is our inspiration, and it is our birth, the bringing forth new creative expressions and endeavors. Hey, Leona Thacker. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to do a collective message, and it is just about us activating our own light. As a master light blaster, we activate our light, and our light is activated through the darkness, those areas that we struggle with, those areas that are calling for expansion, those areas of in the past that we might have resisted. It's in those areas that our light is activated, and we gain the wisdom and insight, because that light is knowledge, it's information, it is pure God source energy opening up within us. And when we allow the polarities to merge through unity and dissipating the idea of separation, that anything is outside of us, we literally activate our own light, and we continue that expansion of embodying God source energy and having that experience in this physical timeline. And I find that fascinating, because that's also what a master light blaster came for. We came for the experience of our God self in this timeline, not dying, not having to reincarnate, not having to come back again, but to experience that through our activation. And those activations even create portals of time traveling, of connecting to multidimensional self. So every time we activate and allow the polarities or the contrast or the opposing forces to work together and to just merge and flow with it instead of resisting it, allowing us to become one with it, we literally activate, and then we create a portal within that experience as well. And in that, we create gateways, we create just portals of consciousness where we connect to other dimensions, other aspects of ourselves, to gain, to give, and support information. Every activation in our light body is just activating more of our God source energy. Sorry, there's a lot of activating going on in the other room with the dogs. All right. So I just find that fascinating, and that brings, for me, a greater understanding of what light activation is, and what is it actually doing, and how we can be aware of aiding and supporting that process, which essentially is being in the now and surrendering to our experience, because we created it for that expansion and for that activation. So nothing is outside of us, in that it is our energy or our calling or our experience that is creating that hologram we call life, to interact, to engage, to communicate with, which is still ourself, engaging with ourself for the further experience, expansion, and self-realization of our God source energy. And every time we realize, it's light activated, light activated, light activated. So I thought I would just do a collective reading on what are we activating, what energy are we really bringing into our awareness, what are we really bringing in to the physical experience to be experienced, what basis of that energy, what archetype, or what information does spirit have about all that we are activating right now through the merging of all of our energies that are experienced, as within as without. So when we have unbalanced energy within us, energies that are creating some contrast or conflict or disturbances within, those are energies that are just waiting to actually merge. So even when you're feeling angst, or you're feeling confused, or you're feeling like how do I make these things work? That is beautiful because that is the pre-step to the merging. And then that merging brings forth an activation of new creation to be expressed through us. Thank you, Christy Burke, goddess of the sun. All right. And I think you said that being the sun, you act as a reflector for others, right? Did you not say that? Pretty sure you said that. All right. And that's what we're all doing as Master Light Blasters as well. We are also paving a way of sparks of light for others to connect to as their mirror if they so choose it, if their frequency resonates. And that's what we do for each other. Every spark, every perception that we're activating within our own individual experience gives us a reflection of our own light, and it gives us understanding and insight and wisdom about ourselves and how it pertains to maybe what we are going through as an individual. So it is the opposing forces, it is the polarities, it is the contrast that act as a catalyst to trigger growth and expansion. They trigger our light activation when we allow it. Not everybody is on that path right now of that integration, unity, dissipation of the illusion of separation. They still choose to think that there is a life outside of them, and that is okay. That is okay. That is their soul's experience. They may choose to think a power outside of them is responsible for their state of being, for what they're living, how they're living, for their health, for their success, for their financial abundance. And as long as they live in that illusion of separation, they will continue to create that experience, and that is okay. You guys, however, are Master Light Blasters. You are dissipating the illusion of separation by taking responsibility and knowing that you are the creator. You are generating the projection of what you see before you as your light comes forth, as that frequency comes forth. There is no right or wrong in any projection. When you approach it as an opportunity in the now to embody, to align, to empower yourself, to activate you, there is never, ever, ever any wrong. And even when you don't do that, there is never any wrong. But in doing that, you're taking a very proactive, conscious, aware, mindfulness, creator part in your self-activation. You become a self-activator. You become God source, conscious of itself. Where the ones that are not ready to be conscious of itself, that is okay. They will live that experience out for as long as their soul, their higher self, they choose to. But you guys are Master Light Blasters. You are ready, and you are living the self-directed path, the self-aware path, taking responsibility path, being proactive path, being a generator of your own light, of your own life reflection, through the source of your connection, through your sun within. You are the sun. The rays emanate from the sun. The sun does not receive its light, its energy from the outside world, nor do you. You are as the sun. You are the light and you are the love. You shine on the world. You shine in your life as the sun shines on the ocean, as it shines on all the pathways and all the parts of Mother Earth. You shine on all components, all areas of your life's experience, of your reality. And every time you shine, it is a self-activation where you embody and allow more light in your physical life, in your physical being. And the more light you activate, the more multidimensionally aware you become and allow and be in this moment of now. As Lauren, as Christy, as Leona, as Munazabi. You guys are all multi-dimensional beings, aware of that. Now, everybody is multi-dimensional beings, but they choose not to experience or believe or allow that part at a conscious level. They still are, they just aren't choosing that experience. Master Light Blasters choose that experience. They want all of it. A Master Light Blaster wants to experience the whole kit and caboodle, and that's exactly what you guys have come for. We don't know light until it shines in the dark. We don't know our power. We can't experience God as a physical being until we live the path of our light, until we see our light emanating, activating, creating in process. That is so true, Leona. We came for that veil initially, but we're dissipating it every time we step into embodying more and more light, which just means releasing the victim. The victim is based in an idea of separation, and you guys are becoming integrated and unified in your light, in your being, in one another. It's like you don't have courage, you don't have strength, you don't have fortitude, you don't have stamina, you don't have any of that without actually going through the process of a journey. Now, you are always, that is not to say you are not always God source energy and light, but like Leona stated, you don't know that until you've shown through the darkness, until you see the reflection of your light in action through your life, through your living, through your choices, through your responses, through your non-responses. All of it is valid. All of it is aiding you. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is separate. Nothing is to be condemned. Nothing is to be judged. Nothing is to be criticized. It is all serving the activation, the embodiment, the self-fulfilling prophecy of you. You are your own self-fulfilling prophecy of whatever it is you are believing and trusting in. You fulfill that. Hey, Dina. All right. Hey, Amy. Thank you for joining. Please share out, guys, if you don't mind. I'm going to do a collective message. And then if you guys want an individual, I'll stick my PayPal link up there. But I'm going to do a collective message. And let me just post my comment up here. Hold on. Post comment. So if anybody wants a individual, whether it be something you have in question, but the overall collective message is going to be, what are we activating? What are we activating within ourselves right now? What are we in the process of illuminating? Or what contrasts are hitting like sticks to create that fire, to create that spark, to create that passion, which is self-activation? Hold on here, guys. I love that. Even self-activation, even light activating, guys, isn't something outside of us. And if we're getting the experience of a activation outside of us, it is still through your light. It is still through your reflection, for you can see the experience in the way that your soul has called to experience it. That's so awesome. You were still taking care of your neighbor. What a beautiful friend you are. My neighbor friend needs my help. Oh my goodness, Leona, you're such an angel. You're such an angel for your friend. That is so beautiful, Leona, because as you show up for your friend, you are also showing up for yourself. So that is very beautiful. So thank you for that. All right. So what are we? All right. I'm going to do it in a way that is bringing forth the opposing forces. I want to know, just to give us a little more understanding, I'm going to do a wisdom house of the night. What energy are we bringing to light? What contrast, what polarity are we like in the process of like merging, like unifying, expanding? And when we expand something, we just bring it into the light And this deck is called Wisdom of the House of the Night. So this is just going to say, what energy of darkness, what are we bringing light to right now? What are we bringing light to? First of all, because sometimes like the things that are shown outside of us, like I just really had this self-realization that whenever I meet resistance in my outside world with a family member or whatever I'm going through, it is me trying to control the situation. And that is, oh my God, this was so big for me, like yesterday and the day before. So when you keep finding yourself meeting resistance of another, that means that you are trying to control or manipulate in some way, shape, or form based in a fear. And it shows up as resistant because we are being resistant to the flow that is being available for us now. There's something in that flow we might not be trusting, or we may be doubting. So then it shows up as resistance. And that was huge for me because I couldn't understand, why am I always attracting people that seem so resistant? And then I had like an aha yesterday that, oh, they are reflecting, I am projecting resistance because I am at some deeper level where I wasn't aware of it, trying to control a situation and trying to make them do what I wanted to do based on my own fear and doubt. That was like so insightful for me. And now I feel like I can free that up and let it go. And then once we get that lesson or that aha or that spark, then it merges with us and then it makes us more complete because we're embodying more light. We gain the awareness and the insight from that situation. Oh shit, this is so good. And that's what I was just talking about. We activate the fire through the conflictual energies in our life. And what this card is saying, honesty. And this pretty much is just kind of affirming what I just said, being honest with myself. And sometimes we don't mean not to be honest. We might still be fluffing or sugarcoating, or because we're not ready to allow or accept an energy within us, that sometimes we lie to ourselves, and then that also projects in the outside world through someone not being honest or authentic with us, or someone resisting us. So what we're being called forth right now, what we're bringing to light, what we're activating, are these areas deep in the dark that we have not been honest with ourselves. And what they don't mean that we did it consciously. There's things that we've been telling ourselves or living that we've been accepting through and with what's the word? Not compromising, but excuses, reasoning. So we've been reasoning and making excuses and justifying things in our life. Only you know what those things are, at an unconscious level, and now they're rising where we can be more honest and authentic with ourselves. That is what is coming forth. So when we find people not being honest, or when we find people resisting, or when we find that we're not getting that outer reflection that we want, that our heart wants, it is calling us to go and shine some light in some little nooks and crannies and crevices within us that we have not been acknowledging, and not on purpose. You know, everything is divine timing. So you guys are all at a frequency high enough where you are shining light on those areas that you can understand, because you have more light now to understand them. That is so beautiful. It is just like somebody who follows a religion or a belief system, and they're doing it because they will say, oh, it is the right thing. It is the right thing to do. But deep down, the underlying reasoning could be they're in fear of judgment. They're in fear of being condemned. They are fear of punishment. They are in fear of getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? So some of us in the past, especially those that have followed a religious path, say that they are going to church or they are going to temple or whatever out of the purity of their heart because it's the right thing, but deep down they might be doing it because they're afraid if they don't, something else is going to happen. And that is really not based on authenticity of their heart of wanting to be there. I know when I was a kid and I had to go to church, I wasn't there because I wanted to be, like many kids. They're there because they think that's the way to go. God wants you there, you know. and believing that something outside of you is expecting something from you, but there really isn't. And even when we think maybe at a higher frequency expression, oh, I need to, it could even be something as simple as, and beautiful, and it's beautiful too, a ceremony or tradition or a holiday, and you think you need to do it, but you really don't want to do it, but you think you need to. And it's about getting more honest with ourselves, guys. It is burning off the illusions and the ideas of separation and those beliefs and those thoughts that are not as authentic to what we really want. And so many things in life, and that was part of the process, and that was part of the journey. And every time we ignite more light, we're able to shine a little more light on our authenticity, which is going to reveal areas where we have not been honest with ourselves. Even convincing or pretending we want to do something because we're afraid if we don't, we'll get a worse result, whether it be a certain job, a certain relationship, an obligation, a habit, a routine. I could even say, even as simple as eating, like maybe you think you can't have this and you're going to end up like that, or, anything that seems to have control outside of you. We're bringing those things to light, including other people's teachings, other people's ideas, just because they're right for them. Every truth is correct if you really believe it. And even those frequencies where we told ourselves little lies, they were still true at that moment because that's what we believe. But now we're going really deep. We're going really deep, and we're really burning and alchemizing. It's like that dragon energy, just burning off the illusions, burning off the mist. Like when the sun comes up over the morning, over the ocean, and it can be really foggy and misty. And as the sun rises, that heat burns off the mist and then it becomes clear. That is what our light is doing right now as a master light blaster. That is so amazing. All right. I love that. And it's not an easy road to travel, guys. But it's beautiful. It's so rewarding because then you end up freer and liberated. And so many of you guys I know can attest to, you just don't give an F anymore what someone thinks. Or in the past, you might have, because you were afraid of judgment. You thought you had to, even things like dressing up for certain events or looking a certain way when you presented yourself in public, or other, like I get a lot of flack from my family, or my kids as teenagers, because as a teenager, they're trying to conform. They're very influenced by their peers. And they'd say, Mom, you're not wearing that to the store, are you? You're wearing those muck boots and sweats. You look like a slob. And we've been there as teenagers before, but it's beautiful to get to that part where you're free and you don't care. You don't care. You're comfortable in your own clothes. You're comfortable in your own energy. That is what this is bringing us to. Another level of that. All right. So what is do I have the mystical wisdom cards? Let me see here. What do I got going on here? I got these. Oh, yes, I do have the mystical wisdom. All right. So what is the wisdom we're going to be even gaining from that? So that was like the darkness, the catalyst that we're confronting, areas, little crevices, nooks where we've been lying to ourselves and making excuses or justifying our way of being, doing, thinking, all of that. But it's really based in something deeper, a fear that we need to acknowledge, a doubt, a sense of unworthiness. Even in our expression, in our work, our businesses, our channelings, our readings, we'll say, well, I got to do it this way because blah, blah, blah. But really, maybe you're just afraid of taking it to the next step or the next level due to an insecurity within you, or making an excuse not to apply for a job, or ask that person on a date, or befriend that person, or take that class, whatever it is. So we are very aware and conscious now of what we're doing and why we're doing it. And the wisdom is intuition. Trust your intuition. And I love that kind of unicorn horn. I always say it looks like a drill bit to me. It's like piercing and penetrating through any cement, blocks, densities, illusions, darkness. Oh my God. So I watched this show, and I'm sure you guys know it. It's 1994, 1996, the Shank Shaw prison. Is that what it is? With Morgan Freeman and somebody else, and he escaped the prison. Shank Shaw? I think that's what it is, the Shank Shaw prison or something. And I watched it with Caleb last night. And he goes, "You didn't see this?" And I'm like, "No, I never really watched movies, especially during that time era, because I had little ones and I had a hair business and I didn't watch a lot of TV or movies." And it reminds me of him drilling out of that prison. Do you guys know that movie, the Shank Shaw, whatever it is? That was so amazing. And he escaped and he was free. And anyways, he was put into prison, and he really didn't deserve it. He didn't really do the killing, but he did finally escape, and then it's a beautiful ending. But to me, the prison walls, they were softer than what he thought. So that is even representing these walls, these illusions, these resistances, these challenges that we think are unmovable are softer than you think. Just like that movie. He had a tiny little hammer that he would, soapstone hammer or something, where he would carve little chess pieces out of the rocks that they dug up on the prison grounds. And he used this tiny little pickaxe to work his hole through the walls. It was softer than he thought. So whatever challenges, this is also saying whatever challenges, resistances, or things that you don't think you can overcome or work through, darknesses, fears, addictions, any of it, you can do it. You've got this on your forehead, guys. You got that invisible, like unicorn penetrating drill bit that's going to permeate anything. But what is it that's doing it? You're doing it energetically through your intuition, by trusting yourself, by trusting who you are, by trusting your God source energy, by trusting what you feel deep within your heart, by trusting your dreams, by trusting your visions, and knowing to get from what you would consider A to B, it isn't really as dense as you think. And there's that flame there too as well. So we got the candle in this card, and we got the camel. We've got the candle, the flame in this card, and that flame always represents our passion, our spark, our life, our inspiration, our creative expression, and taking action and moving the energy. But the energy is really its frequency. It's frequency. We're allowing a frequency within ourselves that is doing the work. We just need to be present. We need to trust. We need to allow. And we need to know that there is nothing that we can't transmute, change, overcome to shift to the reality that you want to live. That is beautiful. And there's something about the face getting hot, like the face getting hot. You know, when you walk through your ring of fire, I call it the ring of fire, the Johnny Cash ring of fire, you walk through, your face might get hot, but once you're in the middle, it's better. So when you walk through that flame, the flame on her face is just representing the insecurities, the fears, and the doubts that she is walking through. And she might get a little warm because of the fear, but she's not hurt. Her skin is beautiful and it's glowing. So it's illusionary. The doubts, the insecurities, it's all stuff that we created to have that darkness, for we can discover our light. Like Leona said earlier, the light doesn't know how bright it is until it's in the dark. It's like, even all of you guys, I'm sure sometimes you've heard or seen or talked to people, and they really make you appreciate yourself because of the trust you have. Or like when I watch the news or hear other people talking that might be stuck in that lower collective news vibration matrix kind of thing, and all the fears that they hold and the conspiracies and all of that, I just feel like, wow, I'm really lucky. I'm so happy that I'm as free as I am, because I didn't even know as free as I am until you sometimes are compared to someone else. And sometimes those outer projections that are different are just to show you appreciation for yourself, for your life circumstances, for your achievements even. So not everything fits one box. Sometimes we have contrast as a way to show us our own light and to give us a sense of self-worth. And then sometimes it's a reflection of something that we have been hiding, to be brought into our awareness, but only to bring it to the light. Everything is just simply to be brought to the light. They're showing me a light bright now. You know, when you make little pictures on the old-fashioned light brights, the little pegs, and you put them in and they're light, and they're saying every life situation is that. It's like a light bright that you are playing out the situations and experiences and the images and all of that you see before you. It is like a light bright that you are adding your light to. You are finding the truth in it. And the more light you self-activate and activate through your experiences of allowing and surrendering and going with the flow and trusting and believing and all of that, even though there's steps within that as well, then you are shining more light on your story, on that light bright. You are the person placing the light bright pieces, your higher self. Oh, so beautiful. But now also what they're saying is, as we are merging and allowing more light and abiding more light and allowing more of our God self to be embodied and to be experienced, we don't even feel that separation as much. We can see on so many different levels. We don't feel that separation. We connect to our light and we can see that light in motion. We can see us creating through our choices or non-choices or observing and just being aware. We are realizing our power now, and it's a more natural flow. Spirit is saying our power, our spirit and our physical are so tight now. They're so merged together that we're flowing more effortlessly, and also trusting our intuition. Like this card, we're trusting. We don't feel as separate or as alone as we used to, because we're embodying more of that light. There it is. Our spiritual self merging with this physical, like, looks like a physical being, and activating and becoming one, and then shining light and extracting light from all the darkness and everything that we go through. That is so awesome. All right, guys. Thank you for joining, and thank you for being here, and thank you for, hey, James, thank you for creating this beautiful transmission, this channeling. I love it. Hey, Rainbow. Lauren, do you got a spirit name? Any of you guys got spirit names? I'm Aqua. So let me know, you guys. Just curious. I've been talking about spirit names, and spirit name will be the quickest way that the Asasani say to changing your frequency or to creating that outer reflection, because names hold a vibration. They match a number. It's all scientific, and it's a frequency, and it's just something that I thought would be fun to play with. So I'm Aqua, and I've been that for quite a while, but I'm going to start re-implementing that. Shawshank. Yes. Thank you, Dina. It was so good. Shawshank Redemption. Thank you. I just knew it was a prison. And it was so cool because I live in Maine, and it was supposedly taking place in Maine. And then Buxton, where they had the stone wall, it literally is just a next door town. It was like 20 minutes away from us. So I just found that cool, even though Shawshank, it was because I looked it up, because I'm like, does that really exist? And it was a fictionary prison or place in Maine. But Buxton is a real town in Maine, and it's like right next door. So I thought that was so cool. It was so beautiful. Oh my God, I know Gina, and it's a classic. She says, I never seen it. It's like so many older movies. And Caleb's like, you're gonna like it. It's been a long time since 1994. I think he was like 2. So obviously he saw it when he was older, but yeah, it was good. You can see the full movie here. Just watch for pop-ups and ads. Oh, thank you for sharing that, James. Yeah, anyone who has not seen that, it is so worth it. It is so good. You can't understand one side without the other. And this is so beautiful because, thank you, James, the physical vessel journey experience, whatever you want to call it, gives us the opportunity to see the sides separate and then to bring them together as one. So we came here originally with the idea of polarity, separation, opposing forces, being all boom, 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 boom. But now we're here, boom, boom, boom. We're in the center, and now we've seen all the sides, and we're bringing them all together as one. So that is so beautiful. And what is that? Is a team or a business or any endeavor effective and powerful if it's all scattered and everybody's got their own ideas and going opposite directions? Not necessarily. A team works better when they're all cooperative and working together. And that is what we have done. We have brought forth all of the fractals and aspects of ourselves that we have created separate from us, or judged or denied, or even unconsciously, but now those are brought to our awareness, and now we're operating as a team. Think of how freaking ass powerful we are. I'm just going to show you this. It's standing out. So I told Mythos one day, I said, Mythos, you've had enough iPad time. Go play with your Legos. And he was so proud to show me this is what he made. And he couldn't get it all together. And he actually took the Legos and he taped them. And look what's in the middle here, this beautiful sun. This is so beautiful because this is kind of representing, and I have it in my spirit room now, his eyes, the awareness of our sun and our connection. That is our center. That is the portal to all that we are. It is always there. It is always available. It is always shining through us, whether we are aware of it or not. And the silver one here looks like that colloidal silver, which is a high frequency metal or silver, very, very high frequency, like the God frequency. And then I like the way the blue is here too, because that can even be thought of as our intuition, our third eye, and all of that. So this is actually very representative of our state of being right now. That's so cool. So yeah, I got to keep that. It's so stinking adorable. And I was so impressed that he actually took the Scotch tape because he couldn't get it to go in the way he wanted. And obviously that must be him. And that sun, oh my God, I didn't even realize it before. The way he has the sun in the middle, oh my God, he's so wise. That's representative of our sun and our light within us and everything, how it is all generating and projecting from us. All right. Master Light Blasters, let's go from the top. Muna Zabi, thank you so much. Leona, she's gotten to help her neighbor per usual. Tiana, I absolutely love that name, Tiana. Master Light Blaster, Christy Burke, Sun Goddess. Lauren, let us know. Lauren, let me know if you have a spirit name. Christy, I don't know if you have something besides Sun Goddess. Dina, Amy, beautiful, beautiful Master Light Blasters. You guys are so awesome. Carissa, Leona, Dina. I feel the trip could be very healing. I agree, Ria. My sister is invited me to go on a trip with her, and I don't know if it's aligned yet or my fear is interrupted. Okay, Dina, this is really, really good. This is beautiful. So if you find yourself creating reasons why you can't go, maybe deep down, because I know when I make excuses for not being able to do something because I really don't want to go, but I will go deep and then I get conflicted and then I question, then I get all mumble jumble. Well, am I just telling myself that because I'm really afraid of something? So write down all of the, like, even just processing it and by writing it down, and I'm sure James would agree with that, the pros and cons of not going. And yeah, this is a beautiful journey, just deciding if you're going to go on the trip with her. Because yeah, I question that all the time. Is it fear? Am I making excuses because I'm afraid? Because you can do it either way. You can make excuses because you're afraid, or you can make excuses, Dina, also because you're afraid of just speaking your truth and letting the other person down. Only you know. And it can always go this or that way. But this is beautiful because it's going to give you an opportunity to align. And you know what alignment is, guys? Spirit has been talking really, really strongly. Normally, I would think alignment is, oh, I'm just following my heart. But when you go a little deeper, true alignment is integrating the polarities in the opposing forces and unifying them as one. That is real alignment. That makes you a superpower hero, hence a master light blaster. So how do you feel within? The trip could be very healing. Does that feel more like an excuse, or does it feel more like, oh yeah, that could be. So, and that intuitive voice, that little tiny voice of truth is quiet. So the louder voices, obviously we're taught, and you only know, could be the fear, just your ego trying to keep you safe and say, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Or it could be the opposite, only you know. But every opportunity is a moment of you. So no matter what decision, Dina, what they're saying for you is you can't go wrong, because don't be okay. So this message is coming forth for you, Dina, right now from Spirit. And they're saying no matter what decision you're taking it, you might be taking it and making it harder than it is. What is wrong with stepping through a door of opportunity? They're saying, now I'm getting the goosebumps, and you will make it what it is. Every door you walk through, every moment is never wrong. It's what you make of it, the intent you are going. So they said, all you have to be aware of is, I am taking this trip. I'm opening up to allow more and more of me. And if you go with that intent, that's what you're going to get. Because we can delve in and we can find all of these different reasons to do something or not to do something. And in the end, all of that is mumble jumble, jitter jatter. Do you want to go? Yes or no? Say right now, the second, you want to go? Yes or no? What would you say? And knowing it's just a door of opportunity. We don't have to take it, because even if you don't take that trip, you'll have other doors, you'll have other opportunities. Spirit's gifts are endless. The grace of what we'll call God, ourself, is endless. There's endless opportunities. But and only you know, Dina, but when I was suggesting it's an opportunity to discover more of you, I get all tingles. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I get all tingles when I say, Dina, it's an opportunity for you to discover more of you. Because I do too. I hate committing to trips, and I really am happy where I live, and I love my area, and I'm like, I don't really know if I want to go through the hassle of going someplace and blah 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 blah. But then sometimes I self-sabotage. So this is another thing, Dina. that spirit has really been bringing up is self-sabotage. Sabotage, and if you look back, I might have a video, I think it's actually called that. Maybe watch that video. It might be a little mirrored reflection of yourself speaking to you, but we will self-sabotage in unconscious ways that are preventing us from actually activating our light. So what I'm feeling is, what the hell you got to lose? Go for it. So we got to be careful where we think we're protecting ourselves or making excuses. Sometimes we're just self-sabotaging based in fear and doubt. Oh, that's so good, Dina. Thank you for bringing that up and holding that space. The parents force kids to go, yeah. But some kids like to go, but yes. Discernment. Christy, thank you. Thank you. And this intuitive card right here is based in discerning. Our tuition is trusting our own discernment. It is being connected to your own discerning process. So the intuition and discerning within, trusting your own inner guidance, your gut, your wisdom, your insight within you, that is your area, that the filter you should be discerning from within. And then through that discernment and that intuition, then you can get through and do anything. So yeah, it's a discerning, strengthening exercise. And I know last year Spirit was always saying, it's okay to take in all of these other ideas, because sometimes, because if we mirror an idea or advice or guidance or ceremony or a way or a spiritual path or whatever it is for you, sometimes it's not just mirroring your energy, it's mirroring an energy you need as a tool to bring you to your own discernment and intuition. We make things way too hard. Whether you do it, whether you stay or go, it's all good. So take that pressure off. There is no better or lesser path when you are taking it from the right intent and discerning. Now, obviously, there's a better and worse path. Sometimes there's a good path you want to take, but it's still not going to be good because you might be holding guilt, or you might think it's not the right thing, or it might impact other people, or whatever it is. So even if you took the right path, if you go carrying a bunch of guilt and shadows, it's not going to be that great, even if it could have been. So discerning is key. Discerning through the sun within, that gut, that feeling. Oh my goodness, you guys bring such good topics. Thank you, Dina. The house is just a place to remind us to center. The true heart should always be at home, your house. Exactly. They say there's no place like home. You can live in a mansion, a castle, but if you are not one and have that door open to your heart, which is your innate self, no place will feel like home. So I agree, James. The home, our frequency, our connection to God's self, our just being in the freedom and liberation to express our divine frequency and print whatever that is for you. There is no right or wrong if it is who you are. But and if you're not doing that, no matter where you're placed on the earth, some areas could be a little comfortable or less comfortable, but that true fulfillment and that home is the heart. And that heart is that portal that travels, that we travel to other timelines as well. So the heart, when we're connected to the heart space, it creates a portal to bring us to that perfect physical home, or that nice area of temperature, or whatever it is you're looking for. But it starts from within. Everything else is a reflection of that connection. As you know, I go out with pink skirts and white tights. I go out in orange reindeer pants. Yeah, I run in my pajama bottoms sometimes. All right, guys. Take us to church, girl. That's so funny because, yeah, I love to preach. I love to but it's not preaching in like a priestly way. It's kind of a channeling, and I just love to share. And I'm like, I get so much activations through you guys and through my own life experiences. I just love to share it. That's all. I'm just sharing. And if it applies, great. If it doesn't, it could be just a contrast for you to discern and then come to your own discerning truth, awareness, whatever. The physical body might be trapped by snow, but your heart is always free unless you lock the door. Exactly. We all hold a treasure chest. We all have a treasure chest, and that is our heart. It is the gold within, but we hold the key to whether we open it or not. You have the key to open up your own treasure chest, and it is believing in that, believing in your treasure chest, believing in your heart. Oh, thank you, Gina. Thank you. My sister used to, and I think I mentioned this on a live before, she says, you're going to be known as the crying preacher, because I get so emotional that things touch me, and then I start crying, and I'm like, All right, guys, thank you. So I assume nobody wanted a private. I didn't see any donations. I think we hit a lot of good topics with you guys, just reflecting and some good experiences. But I'll give you guys a second. Let me know if you would like a personal open donation regarding anything. Could be some advice or energy that you're struggling with right now, that density, that energy that you are trying to permeate through. Permeate, yeah, is that the right word? Permeate. Just like, and that was an amazing hole. And when they showed that hole on the Shawshank Redemption, I'm like, where the hell did he put all the sediments then? And then it showed the part where he was putting it in his pants and would drop it in the prison yard. That part is hard to believe. That isn't a real story, right, guys? That isn't true. It's just a story, right? But if it was, I was thinking, how stinking amazing. All right. All right, guys. Tears are water. Water is life. Yeah, thank you. Water is, yes. Thank you, James. Your tears just show your life is open. Oh, freaking A. It's open, all right. I'm an open book. All right. Very beautiful. And the sun shines on the ocean, so it reflects off the ocean. The sun's light reflects off the ocean. So that's beautiful. Beautiful. All right, guys. Well, I will be on for most likely James and I's favorite Sunday, Sunday readings tomorrow. Aqua. Yeah. And Aqua. Yeah. Duh. That's so true. Aqua. Exactly. The water. Okay. Let's read this last thing. The Shawshank Redemption is based on Stephen King novella. Instead, the movie's based on a novella from and Stephen King's from Maine too. The original title material is Rita Hayworth, and the Shawshank Redemption referring to one of Andy Dufresne's poster. Oh, I did not know that. The source was Rita Hayworth. Yeah, and then he had that hole behind the Rita Hayworth poster. Well, actually, it changed to Raquel Welch, but whoever. Thank you, James. Our infinite book of knowledge. We have our own infinite book of knowledge on this live today. James Francis Schuler. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for collaborating, shining our light, merging, and helping us exponentiate all of each other's light by just sharing our rays, and that culminates and sheds light on so much. May you all shine, not with a tiny little drop, but may you shine with the entirety of all the love and light that you are.